Did you know there are foods that can help you lose weight? And I'm also going to tell you about them. Two fundamental tips for the weight loss process that could change your life. And I see that most people who want to lose weight don't follow these tips. And many times that's why you can't lose weight. So, what are these foods? And is there any thermogenic food? I'm also going to talk a bit about metabolism with you here. Many people don't know, but I'm a doctor, an endocrinologist, and a metabolism specialist. I'm a specialist in this area of metabolism and also in the broader field of obesity and weight control. The doctor who takes care of this is the endocrinologist. A lot of people don't know this because there are many people and even many doctors who end up talking about weight loss. All right, so let's start with the list of 14 foods. After that, I'll tell you the details. So the first food is zucchini. Zucchini is excellent for anyone trying to lose weight because it's low in calories. But not just that, it's rich in fiber, which helps with satiety, gut health, and controlling blood sugar levels. And it's also very versatile. You can even make pasta out of zucchini. Who likes it? I really like it, and with that, you'll feel fuller and consume fewer calories. And we know that when it comes to metabolism, there's no single food that makes you lose weight on its own. Otherwise, it would be too easy. Just eat that kind of food and everyone would be thin. But in reality, we need to pay attention to several things. One of them is exactly choosing foods that are low in calories and with a larger volume so you feel more satisfied. And what about thermogenic foods? Do they really exist or not? They don't either. There's no such thing as a food that will speed up your metabolism. What does exist is exactly what I'm explaining to you. Nutritious foods with few calories that will make you feel full, so you eat less and create a calorie deficit. And food number two is cucumber. Cucumber is excellent, one of the best foods in the world, because it has potassium, can help regulate your blood pressure, contains vitamin B6, vitamin C, and also has something called cucurbitacin. There are many scientific studies on cucurbitacin showing improvements in your health. Well, so cucumber, which is rich in fiber, can also help your digestion and satiety. The same principle I mentioned. For zucchini also applies to cucumber. Along with number two, I'm going to add pickles here. I know you're going to ask, can it be pickles? Yes, it can. You just need to watch the amount of sodium in pickles. Or you can even make them at home and control how much salt and sodium you're adding. If you're going to buy it ready-made, like I do, I like to buy it ready-made. I'm not really into making it myself. I'm not very skilled in the kitchen. So when I go to buy it, I always check the sodium content. There are many that even say on the label that they have less sodium. And then when you're about to eat it, you can also drain that liquid, the brine that comes with the pickles, because that's where a lot of the sodium is concentrated. So avoid that little bit of liquid, the brine actually, which will also help reduce the sodium and salt in your diet. So cucumber is an excellent fruit. Number three, 0-calorie gelatin. 0-calorie gelatin is also an option because it'll leave you feeling really full. I really like gelatin. It works as a dessert. A lot of people end up overdoing it with dessert. This is also a very common mistake. You manage to control your meals, but then you get a craving for something sweet. So you go and eat chocolate, for example, which is very high in calories. And 0-calorie gelatin. Each serving has about 5 to 10 calories. So it's excellent for anyone who is trying to lose weight. I really like gelatin. How about you? 0-calorie gelatin, just to remind you. Because the other kind of gelatin with added sugar won't be good for your weight loss process. If you're trying to lose weight, you should be careful with that type of gelatin. But 0-calorie gelatin is widely available. Many supermarkets carry it, so you can control your calorie intake. And then you might ask me, but what about this whole thing with thermogenic foods? Is that true? That term isn't really used anymore because we know there isn't any food that can actually speed up your metabolism or increase your calorie burn. There are two things that are important when it comes to metabolism. Actually, there are several, but these can increase your basal metabolic rate. The first is muscle mass. Muscle mass can increase your energy expenditure. including calorie burn, even when you're sleeping, your basal metabolic rate. So muscle mass and also certain hormones can increase your metabolism. So the evaluation of various diseases like thyroid disease, hypothyroidism, because that can interfere with your metabolism. There are other hormones too that can affect your metabolic rate, but I'll highlight the thyroid hormone here. And food number 4 is the tomato. I eat tomatoes every day. They're really healthy because they have lots of antioxidants and vitamins. Also, for example, it contains lycopene. For the men watching the channel, lycopene has been widely studied for prostate protection. It's good for your eyes too, because it has lutein and also zeaxanthin, which help protect your eyes. Tomatoes also have vitamin C, vitamin K, and help with collagen production. Collagen is also really popular right now. If you eat tomatoes, you can improve your collagen production. And food number 5 is spinach. Spinach has vitamin A, K, folic acid, and iron. Spinach can also help control your blood pressure because it can help relax your blood vessels, which is very beneficial for your body. Spinach is also very versatile. You can put it in omelets and pies. I really like eating spinach, and it's not because of Popeye No, back when I was a kid. That was really encouraged by cartoons. So I started eating spinach and ended up making it a habit. Do you eat spinach? Are you getting stronger? Spinach really is very good. It's worth remembering that to increase the absorption of iron, the type of iron found in spinach, it's a good idea to also add a source of vitamin C. In my case, when I eat spinach, I make a drink with freshly squeezed lemon. So I squeeze half a lemon, dilute it in water, and it turns out really good. Besides being tasty, it helps me absorb more iron, and it's also rich in vitamin C because of the lemon. And food number 6 is watermelon. And here I want to highlight citrulline. It's present in watermelon, which can really help your health, including your blood pressure levels. Watermelon is rich in water. About 92% to even 95% of watermelon is made up of water. And you might be thinking, oh, but I heard that watermelon has a lot of sugar. Of course, if you eat a whole watermelon, obviously, then you will gain weight. But here, I'm talking about a serving, about 120 grams of watermelon, a medium slice. This kind of consumption is beneficial for your health. There are even studies that show the benefits of watermelon in the weight loss process. A slice of watermelon. Because you get a lot of vitamins, it also increases your feeling of fullness, and you stay hydrated too. The glycemic index of watermelon, what is that? When you eat a food, how much does that food raise your blood sugar? The glycemic index of watermelon is 72, which is considered high. But watermelon has very few carbs per serving, about 3 to 4 grams of carbohydrates per serving. So it's worth eating watermelon. Why? It's really tasty, it's delicious, and it'll take away your cravings. For eating sweets? Who gets those cravings? Even I have to confess to you guys. Sometimes I really crave sweets, and watermelon helps me with that, okay? So yes, watermelon is a brief food. Fruits are rich in antioxidants and are healthy. And food number 7 is broccoli. Broccoli is a vegetable rich in iron, calcium, vitamin K, has antioxidants, is high in fiber, and is low in calories. So for those who want to lose weight, so how do you keep the weight off? This video is also relevant for that group of people. Even for those who are just trying not to gain weight, broccoli is excellent. It's one of the best foods in the world. And broccoli is a versatile food. It can help control blood sugar levels. Broccoli is excellent. But I heard that broccoli can harm your thyroid. Is that true, or is it a myth? That's a big myth. Broccoli does not harm the thyroid. A lot of people say that because there was a study with rats where those rats ate only broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower. And those rats, which ate only broccoli, developed goiter and hormonal changes. What is goiter? It's when the thyroid gland increases in size and ends up having hormonal problems. But that didn't happen in humans. So that's a big myth. First of all, you're not going to eat only broccoli. You would have to eat 3 or 4 kilos of broccoli, which you're not going to do. So there's no need to worry. And another thing people say is that broccoli should be cooked or boiled in water. You can't eat raw broccoli, which is also not true, okay? Raw broccoli does not harm the thyroid. That's a big myth. As a doctor, endocrinologist, and thyroid specialist, I'm here to reassure you about this. Since I mentioned obesity and the thyroid, the other major area in endocrinology is diabetes. These are the three main areas. And number 8 on the list is guava. Guava, besides being a source of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, is also low in calories. And for those who want to lose weight, it's a great fruit because in addition to being nutritious, it's low in calories. It really can help you in this process. Besides that, of the few calories guava has, you get carbohydrates with a low glycemic index, you also get fiber, a low concentration of sugars, and a low glycemic load. So it's one of the best foods for those who are watching their weight. If you have diabetes or high blood pressure, for example, guava can also help you. In addition, there are studies linking guava consumption to improvements in lipid profiles, the fats in your blood. Look at how many benefits guava has for your health. Do you like guava? Guava. I'll confess to you all here, I'm not really a fan. I don't usually eat guava as part of my routine. I end up eating a guava about every 15 days. Only when my son eats it, I end up having a piece. And food number 9 is the strawberry. Strawberries are a part of the red fruit family and contain anthocyanin. Anthocyanin has been widely studied. There are many scientific studies showing the health benefits of anthocyanin. Besides vitamins and minerals, strawberries are low in calories, and they help you in the weight loss process. You'll feel fuller, you'll feel more satisfied, and you're not going to eat 3 or 4 trays of strawberries because a reasonable amount already makes you feel good and also keeps you from eating more and from really overdoing it on calories. So strawberries are excellent for anyone taking care of their health and going through the weight loss process. Food number 10 is lettuce, and there are several types of lettuce. I'm including lettuce in general here because it has vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin K. Lettuce also has other benefits for the immune system, and it contains amounts of iron and calcium. Lettuce can help relax blood vessels. Lettuce is an excellent food. So if you add lettuce and tomato, you're already making a good combination. Not to mention that lettuce is low in calories. Lettuce won't make you gain weight. On the contrary, because of its fiber content, it will actually help you in the weight loss process. You can see that fiber is extremely important in the weight loss process because it helps promote satiety. And one of the keys to losing weight is to focus on foods that have a larger volume, because through the connection between your stomach and your brain, if your stomach is full, your brain will also get the signal that you don't need to eat anymore. You've probably noticed this yourself. So if you include these foods in your meals, in your diet, you'll be taking a very important step. Foods with a larger volume and few calories, like lettuce, zucchini, tomatoes. These are the kinds of foods I'm mentioning here. Food number 11 is watercress. Watercress, I've never talked about it here on the channel, here in the videos. I always get asked a lot if watercress is beneficial. Yes, watercress has several health benefits, such as for the cardiovascular system. Watercress can help regulate blood pressure levels and also has few calories. If you like watercress, you can eat it. And since it's low in calories, it will help you with weight loss. Number 12, radish. Do you like salad? Do you like radish? I don't like it very much, but for those who do, here's a suggestion. Because radish is one of the best foods for your health. It won't raise your blood sugar levels, it will help you in your weight loss process, and it has a very low concentration of sugars and carbohydrates, so it's also good for people with diabetes. In addition to having several vitamins and antioxidants, we're getting to the end of the list of 14 foods. There are still two extremely important tips left. Before I move on to number 13, I'm going to ask you to like this video. If you haven't done it yet, if you're enjoying this content, if it's adding value to you, if you're getting important information, then like this video, because that way you also let the platform know the video is relevant and it ends up spreading to more people. And food number 13 is kiwi. Kiwi, besides being low in calories, can help you in two ways that I want to highlight here. The first is with high blood pressure, as it can help regulate blood pressure levels. There's a lot of research on this. But another benefit is that kiwi can also improve your sleep. Look at that, what great news! There was a study that found people who ate kiwi before bed had better sleep and also slept longer. I eat kiwi 5 times a week. Whenever I can buy kiwi, I do. And I eat it before going to bed because it helps with the sleep process. It also has other benefits. So here, kiwi has a double benefit. Besides helping you with weight loss, it ends up helping even more because of the sleep factor. And sleep is essential for weight control and for losing weight. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, but this doctor eats all the foods he's talking about, except for radish, which I admitted to you here. How is he not overweight? Exactly because of this. These foods have a lot of volume and few calories. So you can eat a bit more of the foods from this list here and not worry so much about your weight. And food number 14 is cauliflower, also from the cruciferous group, with few calories and a very versatile food as well. You can roast it, you can cook it, there are lots of options. Cauliflower also contains quercetin, which is trending right now because of its health benefits. And as you've already seen, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower don't harm the thyroid, so there's no need to worry about that. And now, what are the 2 tips that can really improve your health? As an endocrinologist, I see that people often make mistakes with these 2 things. Number 1 is about salad. Did you know that salad could be making you gain weight? If you add these foods and then put on a dressing that's high in fat with lots of calories, or if you use too much olive oil, these dressings, besides being high in fat, are also very high in calories. So you take a really healthy food, but if you're adding a heavy dressing or a lot of cheese, that's one of the mistakes too. So be careful with what you add to your salad because it can lead to excess calories. Even the famous and healthy olive oil is very healthy, but it's also very high in calories. What is the recommended amount of olive oil for you to get cardiovascular benefits, like reducing the risk of heart attack and even lowering the risk of stroke, also known as a CVA? 7 milliliters per day. You could already get these benefits and wouldn't have the risk of consuming too many calories. So be careful with what you put on your salad. I season my salad with apple cider vinegar. It's also very healthy, has several benefits, can help you in this process, and won't add excess calories. If you don't like apple cider vinegar, there's also balsamic vinegar, which can also help you with weight management. And other types of vinegar are valid too, okay? So season your salad with vinegar and don't add other dressings. Cheese dressing, for example. Oh, I make a salad that's really healthy, but I just can't lose weight. Then I'll have a more in-depth conversation. And the person is adding cheese dressing, putting croutons in the salad, adding more dressing, and sprinkling grated cheese. Well, that makes it really hard. Even if it seems really healthy, it ends up having too many calories and will keep you from losing weight. Because you'll be eating foods that are healthy, from the list I mentioned, but you'll also be adding a lot of extra calories. And tip number 2, which is also very important and essential for anyone who wants to lose weight, is to pay attention to how you prepare your food. A great many people often add various oils, different fats, and even rich pork lard when they are cooking something, such as for their culinary preparations, to enhance the flavor. Pork lard, besides being high in saturated fats, a type of unhealthy fat that can increase your risk of heart disease, is also very high in calories. Just so you can understand in a practical way and see how important this tip is, if you fry an egg with fat, with oil, or with any of the other fats I mentioned in this video, it will be more caloric than if you fry 2 eggs in a non-stick pan, where you don't need to add any kind of fat. See, this way you'll be getting more protein and less fat, and that will help with your weight loss process. And you'll also be able to eat more food. On one hand, you'll eat 2 eggs, on the other, you'll eat just 1 egg with more fat. So for those who are watching their weight, be careful with the fats you add to your diet. If possible, cook and eat your food using a non-stick pan. I know there are a lot of videos saying that non-stick pans are bad for you, but if you look for and buy a non-stick pan that's certified and meets quality standards, you'll be doing something good for your health, and it will help you even more. And it will really help with your weight loss journey. On a scale from 0 to 10, what score would you give this video? If it's a 10, I'll make more videos like this one. Also, let me know in the comments where in the world you're watching this video from and what foods you eat. I mentioned it in the video, so I want you to tell me too. Leave it here in the comments because I always enjoy reading them. I'm speaking from Porto Alegre. Now, I'm going to leave a suggestion for you to watch. It's a video where I talked about fatty liver. Did you know there are a lot of foods that people with fatty liver should avoid that are bad for you? And there are foods that are beneficial that can help with this process. In this video right here, I talk about that. I'm sure you'll like it, and that'll be useful too. I hope so. Take care. See you next time.